Day I'm hustling, 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 hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy,
hustling,
Ski.
hustling.
Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just in the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today, we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you guys are spamming that like button, hitting that share so other people can spam that like button. Let's get this party started, y'all. What's up? The beard is beyond safe. Ski, let's get this party started. Rose that was juicier at 002. What's up, guys? What's up? Listen, we said that was the spring. It looks pretty good right now. Looks pretty good. Now, does this just mean like, hey, it's sunshine and rainbows and it's Lamborghini time? Is that what that means? No, it's that's not what it means. But I'm liking where we're at, and the 74.4 call looks to be as safe. It looks to be safe right now. Now, what do I anticipate? I made a video about this earlier, but I anticipate a little move to the upside, getting daily body closes. Right now, we're just at a wick right now. On the daily, it looks a lot healthier on the 5-hour chart, actually. Like, that's a clean W and a break to the upside on the 5-hour chart. But on the daily, what I want to see is a daily body close around the $83,000 mark. That's what I would like to see. And then we'll probably come back to 78, 79, get our after you get a spring, you get a test. That's pretty textbook. So the test would take you to about 78K, 77K, somewhere in that neck of the woods. I do think that the worst of it is behind us. I don't think that it's going to be just rainbows and sunshines from here. The tariff wars have been paused, right? Show me the charts. I will tell you the news. Was I sitting here clamoring for, hey, this is going to happen, this is going to happen? No. What was I sticking to? The charts. Did I have any inclination that they were going to pause the tariffs for 90 days? No, I did not. But did I know that textbook Wyckoff, that was a spring? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. There are moments when I have a very, very strong read where we're at. The last couple of days was one of those moments. Rose or XYO, I like both of those. 100x leverage time. It's never 100x leverage time, bro. It is never 100x leverage time. Trump made your boy rich. Tried. What did you tried? Jojo the whale. Will we continue up with the spring? So basically what you can anticipate is chopping up, higher highs, higher lows. What I anticipate is us to go to about 83K on the daily. So right now, the daily candle is technically at 79K. Even though we're at the price of 83K, I anticipate the daily body to close at about 83K. Which could put the wick at 85K, you know, somewhere in there. That would be normal. And then I anticipate a back test. About 77K is the low likely that you would see. Probably 78K, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then just start to chop up higher, making higher highs, higher lows. After a couple of those, you're going to get our sign of strength. The sign of strength would take us to about 95K to 100K. We'll probably chop there for a little bit and then start our phase E, and phase E would take us to about 118K. This isn't tomorrow. This is very macro time. So to put in perspective, we are in phase E. Phase D is the sign of strength. And then phase E is the markup. But from phase A to phase C, I want to tell you how many days it was. From phase A to phase C was 46 days. So this isn't a tomorrow thing. You know what I'm saying? This isn't tomorrow. We're going to like rainbow out of here. That's not what I think. So from phase A to phase C took 46 days. So you could probably just call it 50 days. And that's when we would start our phase E. I do think we're going to have a good move into May. Crypto is very violent, very volatile. But I want to taper everyone's expectations of like, hey, it's not going to be tomorrow. Like, don't go max out your credit cards, hoping that it happens in the next 2 weeks. It could happen in 2 weeks. But I think that the end of May is more likely. Tops in. The bottom's in, brother. If this is distribution, micro, textbook, 4 hour, 5 hour, sure, this is distribution. That means this is textbook accumulation. That's what that means. Why not sell in May, walk away? That's the saying. That's not my saying. That's not my rules. I'm going to let the market lead me, dictate what's going to happen. But I don't have any. I do anticipate the summer months to be boring, and I do anticipate August. We're probably going, depending on how violent we move up, I do anticipate a pretty gnarly crash in August. But I don't think it's going to be less than what it is right now. I just think we'll probably. When is August, by the way? Like, how many days is that from now? How many days is August? What are we talking here? What's 90 days from right now? August. No. Oh, I'm on the wrong chart. How many days is 90 days from now? Like, what month are we in? Yeah, that takes us into July. I think there's going to be a pretty gnarly crash in August, but I think we're going to move to 118 before then. Yeah, I think there's going to be a nasty crash in August. But I think it's going to be like 118 is going to be first. So 118 maybe back to like 75, back to 80, something like that. That's what I think is going to happen. Any sign of alt season coming soon? I think that Bitcoin dominance is working on distribution. I do think so. Yes. It's not going to be again, it's not a tomorrow thing. I'm not saying put in your 100x longs right now before it's too late. I'm not telling you any of that. But I think that Bitcoin dominance is working on the UTAD right now, which is, again, that's phase C of distribution. So, and it started from phase A to phase C. This is even longer, so it could take longer. In all actuality, that was 140 days. So, there is signs of that, yes. I think that we're closer to, that was like the C19 crash, basically, is what just happened. And I would argue that that's pretty much where we're at for alt season, for altcoins. Yo, Ski, what's up, Trom? No, one up is he's fair and square my troll. He just also trolls Alex. But he's mine, fair and square. Cards all maxed out and the house is on the line. Dang, bro. Do you think we move down again in the next few weeks? Sure, but do I think that we're going to take out 74.4? I don't. I don't think so. I think we chop up, making higher highs and higher lows. We're most likely, the next week, I think we're going to go to 83. And then most likely on the full moon, we'll probably be back at 78 before making another higher high and then another higher low. That's what I think is going to happen over the next couple of weeks. I don't think it's like the spring is in, which is the maximum pain, maximum fear. That is true. Two things can be true at one time. But just because the spring is in doesn't mean it's, we're just going to be rainbows and sunshine. Everyone is clamoring always for bulls. Everyone is clamoring always for bears. But there's very few people clamoring for sideways. And I think realistically, we're going to be sideways and slightly up for the next couple of weeks. That's what I think. And I think the end of May is when we start our SOS. which is the sign of strength, which would take Bitcoin to about $100,000, and then shortly after that would take it to phase E. Phase E would take us north of 118,000. No charts on TikTok for subscribers. We're only doing the YouTube and just the camera. So every other TikTok live is going to be subscribers only, and then that will be like you'll have the charts. This is how we're going to do it, because I've done 2 subscribers only and I haven't had any issues. So what we're going to do is we're going to do every other live stream is going to be subscribers only. You guys will have the normal viewing experience, and then every other is going to be like this. And if you want to see the charts, it's going to be on YouTube. Have you changed your outlook for Solnic? Absolutely not. I am more bullish on Solnic than I ever have been. SOB, thanks for becoming a member. Level Savage. You savage, bro.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Let's go, Solnic. Ski, good morning from Bangkok. Should I buy now or wait a few more days? You could wait for a pullback. I think if you're buying spot, it's fine. What about Bitcoin dominance? I just talked about that. I think it's working on distribution. And just like I think that was the spring in Wyckoff, right? So that was the spring for Bitcoin, in my opinion. That was the spring, in my opinion. I think the reverse is happening right now. So the reverse of a spring in distribution is what you would call a UTAD. And I think that Bitcoin dominance is working on the UTAD right now, which is, again, that's the maximum. That's the max that you get. So I think it's working on that right now. It could go, 63, 64, whatever. But just relatively, this is the peak of dominance right now, in my opinion. It's red hot too. Like, it's at 83 on the daily. That's as high as we got for the buying climax. So yeah. Hey, let's go, Solnic. Do you think 118 is as high as we go before August crash? That's the probable. That is the most probable, in my opinion. Yes. It doesn't mean that 138 is impossible or anything like that, but I do think that that's the most probable, because I still think that November is when the peak of euphoria is going to be. Can you move the goalpost up where Valhalla comes this month? I watch your TikTok subscribers only, and I don't have a subscription. Really? Well, great. I'm glad you figured out how to crack the code. I don't care. Like, the whole thing is, like, I'm not trying to gatekeep or anything like that. Really, honestly, I'm trying to give as much value as I can for as many people as I can. But literally, you guys see it every day when I go live and I show my charts on TikTok. There's these nerds that just like mass report my stuff, and it's annoying. It's very annoying. So I'm not trying to be like that. I'm not trying to be like, well, because if you want to just watch it for free, watch it on YouTube. But it's just like, I want to put the content out for the people who want to see it. We dip so hard, I don't even think we can go back. The lower you go, the higher you launch. I think it was Sunday night. I watched TikTok only, but I don't have subscription. Might want to get that UTAD checked out. Burns, don't it? Hey, brother, hope you're doing well. Nothing like price to change sentiment. Nothing like price to change sentiment is correct. Was today the last day for cheaper shopping? We'll have more pullbacks. I think that it's going to pull back to 78 on the test. So that's the spring. The test would test the secondary test in phase B. We haven't got the test yet. So that would be what would be the next textbook move. So we already got the spring, in my opinion. If we were to continue up, we're going to make a move to the upside, which we've already gotten it, 83K. But realistically, we're going to get a daily body close at 83K. And then we're probably going to come back to about 79 to 77, somewhere in there. And that is probably as good as it's going to get. Maybe ever. I've cracked the code, Bo. I need to know how to buy 2 solnic NFTs. Irish Dano just put it out, launch my NFT, and then search 2 hedge funds. No bottom yet. That's as textbook of a spring as you get. I put that out 2 days ago at 74.4. I said that the bottom's in, boys. I made a video. Bottom's in, boys, at 74.4. I don't map things out perfectly. I don't make 0 mistakes. I have misreads, but I'm better at calling bottoms than tops. I would say. I would say accumulation is my bread and butter. And there are moments when I get a strong read to where we're at, and that was one of those moments. Not every moment is like that. I'll be honest. Like, I'm a content creator. I constantly have to make content. Yesterday, or the last couple of days, was one of the moments where I'm like, okay, I am locked in. I know exactly where we're at. I'm looking at the map. I know the terrain features. I know that this is a hill. I know that this is a valley, and I know that the road should be up here 500 meters up. We're 2 clicks away. Alex said he will exit if Bitcoin dominance rises as Bitcoin price goes up. What do you think? I think that it depends on where it goes. Like, this is the UTAD to me. Like, if it keeps going up and keeps rising, okay, that might be something. You were calling accumulation as... Yes, one up. I already made a video. Where I'm past that. You got to reset a Rolex every now and again. I already made a video. I had the wrong read on February. I am past that. I've had 2 major misreads in my career in doing this. February was one of them. The other time was over here. Back in January of 2024, I thought that we would go to 35K, back from 48K. We only went to 38K. And I moved off of this too late. I did not move off of this until we got back into the 46K price targets. So this was my second misread that I've had while doing this publicly. But other than that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like 79 and 2 is pretty good. Remember the bet, 30K before 100. I remember. What does that shirt say? Fallout? The shirt says Fallout. I love the show and the game. But listen, I would be accountable. If I get something wrong, I get it wrong. I'm not going to pretend like it didn't happen. I made a video, I addressed it, and I moved on. But I do think in the grand scheme of things, too, even so, in the grand scheme of things, I think that we're going to look back and be like, you know what, damn, like, it still was a pretty good value. I think that's what's going to happen, too. What happened to Shocks? How much would you? What are you saying, bro? All right. If you had 500K in stocks, how much would you allocate to crypto? Listen, I don't think I'm the right person to ask that question. I'm going to keep it a buck with you, Big G. I don't think I'm the right person to ask that question because I do not believe in the stock market the same way that I believe in crypto. Not even close. And I do believe that the stock market on a macro time frame, so this is going to take years to play out. I don't think that we're starting the big one today or the last week. I don't think that that's what's happening, right? But I do think by 2029, what we're going to see is between now and 2029, it's going to be a huge macro distribution. So me personally, the things that I accumulate the most of is silver, which I'm playing with right now, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and land, and gold. I do have some stocks, but I don't really believe in them like that. Oh, real estate as well, but you could say land, real estate, same thing. Ski, when we going parabolic? Right at phase E. Solnic is a hedge against inflation. Do you think altcoins will recover and take back their December price? If so, May. I think that there's a strong plausibility that May, a lot of altcoins take back their December price, but I do still think that November is the euphoric moments. 69K is the bottom. I called it. Well, we haven't went there yet. What's up, you boy Ski? Damn, what did I miss? You could go on YouTube and do the full replay. Thoughts on XLM? I think it's Flux still good. Flux is still good. But how many people lost a ton following you? I don't know. Are we counting 2022? If you count all of the times that I've lost, been wrong, and all the times I've been right, I've made tens of thousands of people tens of thousands of dollars, including the times that I was wrong, if not more. I put my track record up against any influencer, period. I don't know. Listen, I'm not trying to be funny. Measure me with my losses against anybody. So no, I don't think so. And for the record, I had the coins that I liked in November and December. There was a lot of coins that people were asking me about, and I was like, for the love of God, take profit. Penlink was like that. I was like, for the love of God, take profit. Sui was like that. Landwolf was like that. XYO when it was pumping was like that. XCN when it was pumping was like that. Like there's a lot of coins that did crazy numbers. Trump was like that. There was a lot of coins that did really crazy numbers, and I was telling people to take profit on. So yeah, did I have some things that I liked that went lower? Sure, that definitely happened. But the coins that were showing clear signs of being absolutely parabolic, that I say, if you were my brother, I would take profit, that definitely happened too. XRP at $3.33. Everyone wanted me to move the goalposts on XRP, and I sold 40% of my XRP at $3.33. Was that because I'm a wizard and I just called the top? It went to 340. No, it's because I had a plan at 20 cents what I was going to be doing. And I stuck to my plan. I made a rational decision at 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents as to what I'd be doing with my money at certain prices. And I was rational when it was emotional. If you have dry powder, when do you plan to deploy? I've already been deploying. I don't have much dry powder. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been deploying a lot of dry powder. But I think that was the spring. I put in a lot of longs, and I was buying a lot the last couple of days. So that's public. Like, I put that out there. I put that out there in the video. I was going long yesterday. I promise you, on everything I love, I was going long. There was no shorts yesterday. How do you feel about VeChain? I'm in a long right now on VeChain. It's up 50%. Thoughts on Crow? LCX at the spring, he called that hard. Where can I get that Solnic t-shirt? I just got approved for TikTok shop. I should be able to put it in there soon. Go hard pet transport says, no lie, skis made me a bunch. I like VeChain. I think VeChain 246 is 2040-60 is my target for VeChain. What do you recommend people stack up if stocks are going to macro correct 2028? Listen, I'm not going to recommend anything, but I can tell you what I'm doing. How about that? How about that? Like, I can tell you what I'm doing in preparation for 2029. I will be stacking up on real estate, land, gold, silver, and crypto. One up got booted. Since December, you've been wrong. And you're a clown. December of what? 22? Like, how far are we going back? Are we going to cherry pick? Are we going to cherry pick or what? We just going to cherry pick from December of 24? Or should we go back to 2022? Are we going to do the full picture or just what paints your picture? What makes you an expert? I don't know. 10 years of experience. Working 100 hours a week, every week for the last 5 years at perfecting my craft. Maybe I'm not an expert. But if I'm not, I don't know who is. If I'm not, I don't know who is. Put my track record against anybody. Put my track record against anybody. Wins and losses. Anybody. One up, did you really make a new account? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy level of glaze. That's a crazy level of glaze on another man. To get blocked and make a new account and come back glazing again. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. Crow or GRT? I think definitely Crow. GRT has a lot of inflation. XYO, new targets, same as... Is it making new lows? TikTok is the worst of trolls. Yeah, that's true. LCX is still the same. LCX is still the same. First target, $2 for ADA is my first exit target. Do you see pullback coming? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think we'll probably pull back to 77. 78, 79 to 77 is where I think we're going to pull back to. And that's probably the best we're going to get. Targets for VeChain, 20 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents. I think that the bottom is in. The spring, I think, was the bottom, right? This was the bottom to me. 74.4 is as low as we're going to get. But just because the bottom's in doesn't mean sunshine and rainbows and up only. That's not what that means. Yeehaw! Thanks for the hat and mustache. Full moon's on the 12th. Yeah, there you go. That's probably going to be the 12th. We hit 83K today, so you don't think... So do you think down to 78K now? Yeah, that would be the test, right? So if you want to see my charts, I'm on TikTok right now. Or I'm on live on YouTube if you're watching on TikTok. So that was the spring to me. The next move would be about to 83K. And then we'll get a test, which would be about 70, call it 78K, but it could be 77, it could be 79. And that would be the same as the secondary test in phase B, which the secondary test in phase B was 77K. It depends if we're counting the body. The body was 80K. The wick got to 76.9. So that would be textbook Wyckoff. After a spring, you get a little relief rally. Probably to about 83, 85K, somewhere in there. I think we're working on that part right now. We'll get a test. That's going to call it 78K. And then we'll start making higher highs and higher lows. The next move after the test is going to be the SOS, which the SOS would take us to about 95 to 100K, chop for a little bit, and then start phase E. Phase E would take you north of 118K. Flux target. My target for Flux is still the same. Is it gay for a man who isn't a family member to push in your chair asking for a friend? Man, don't push in my chair. I'll tell you that much. When is plan going to happen in 2025? I think so. I think the end of November. We'll see when we get the SOS. Excuse me, I said November. May is what I meant. The end of May. But I do think the peak of euphoria is going to be in November. But we'll see when we get the SOS. Okay, listen, I'm way better. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm way better at structure than I am time. Just keeping it a buck. XYO, it's still the same. 10 to 20 cents. Let me look up XYO, though. Flux is still the same. $5 minimum. I'm up 7K today, bro. You love to see that, bro. I'm pumped for you. If you were me, where should I put most of my money? I'm not you, but I can tell you what I do. How about that? I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you financial advice. I can tell you what I'm doing, though. I'm putting most of my money in silver, land, crypto, and gold. That's how I do it. I count real estate and land as the same. Most of my portfolio is real estate and crypto. That is the majority of my portfolio. Those are about they're about even 40-40. And I have some stocks and some precious metals. What were you looking at? XYO. Right. All right. So XYO made a new low, according to Penka. This isn't a new low, bro. This is still just skidding on the... This is your huge sign of strength, and it's just still working. I think that this is the spring of the sign of strength, is what I think. Or it perhaps could be the secondary test, but yeah, I think that this is working on the bottoming structure now. It's got to break out of this, get above the 200, but no, the targets have not changed. It's on top of a lot of support. I just think it had a violent move all the way up to the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement. I would probably de-risk a little bit at 3 cents. But ultimately, I still think it's going to go 10 to 20 cents. What about Link? Link is in my kid's portfolio. What real estate properties do you prefer? All my real estate properties are houses that I've lived in, and then I moved out and I put a renter in them. ADA 2468. Those are my targets for ADA. Take 20 to 25% at each target. Not financial advice. Suki, I like Suki. I haven't looked at Suki in a minute though. Damn, Suki got crushed. It's still on the skid. We got to break the downtrend. Get back above 5 cents. I think a plausible move is to the 0.5, 72 cents. There's not a lot of inflation on Suki. And that's, dude, that's a 20x. Yeah. Like, I would take profit on the 0.5 micro, which is a 5x. And then I would probably be out all the way at the macro 0.5, which is 74 cents. Wrecked? Who's wrecked? Is it me or everyone sleeping on algo? The bottom must have been in. What if Trump doesn't pause tariffs still? Bro, I don't care. I do not care about the news. When I said the bottom is in, I want you to know, go look at the video. 2 days ago at $74,400. I said the bottom's in, boys. Tell me in that video where I said anything about tariffs. Tell me in that video where I said anything about macroeconomics. Tell me in that video where I said anything about the news at all. I do not care. I look at structure in Wyckoff. I had no clue what was going to happen, but I knew that that was a spring. Show me the charts, I will tell you the news. I knew that that was the spring. You inspired me to buy a 100-ounce bar. Man, I love buying silver. The bottom is not in. Okay. If you say so. Where are we going? When? Bro, I don't care what Trump does. That was the spring. I'm not making my investment thesis around Trump. Ski 5 mil is still whale status? Yes. Thoughts on Algo? I would put Algo kind of in the same category as H-bar. Past inflation, the inflation is done. A good fundamental project. I think it's going to most likely perform better the next bull market than it is this bull market. What do you see ETH and Solana pulling back to? I would probably de-risk on Ethereum at 3,300 a little bit. Maybe 10 to 25% depending on conviction. But I still think that Ethereum gets to 7,200 and I still think that Solana gets to 400 to 500. Why didn't... That's okay. Is Farcoin looking good to short? He says, forget crypto. Let's talk Fallout. Thoughts on XLM? I would put XLM in the same category as H-bar, Algo. I like them fundamentally. I think they're real players that are really going to be here. A little bit too much inflation in the past, but the inflation is done. So I think it's a decent investment, not for this bull market necessarily, but for the next one. H-bar is going to be one of my top altcoins that I accumulate in the next bear market. But you could like replace that with XLM. You know what I mean? Like it's just as good. Is Rose one of your top plays? Yes. Rose has been getting crushed. I am shocked at how badly Rose has performed. But it is still one of my top value plays. It's still skidding. It's pretty damn deep, though, on the RSI. Like, this is all the way down to 19, and it's about to cross to the upside. This might have been the actual spring. We'll see. We need to break this downtrend, though. You think the bottom's in? I thought the bottom one was in 2 days ago at 74.4. I said that the bottom was in 2 days ago at 74.4. I said the bottom's in, boys. That was the video. Will you give Mario the go-ahead to... There's going to be a podcast very soon. I think next... Not this Friday, but next Friday. I believe it's at 4 o'clock. All right. Whatever, bro. You just made me spill the beans because I read it off the prompt. So there you go. Solnic has partnered with Mario Nafal. There you go. Solnic has partnered with Mario Nafal. He'll be tweeting about us. He will be having us on podcasts. And the first one. My God, bro. TikTok is so gay. TikTok is so gay, bro. All right, we're going to that's it. Like, we're only doing members only on TikTok. That's it. I'm done with this shit. The first podcast is next Friday. There you go. No, it was my bad. I didn't proofread what you said. I just read it like an idiot. That's it. Like, members only on TikTok. That is it. For real. I am done. Like, I had 0 issues the last 2 days. 3 days. I didn't live stream yesterday. We had 0 issues. And here we are. It's so gay, bro. Listen. I can't stand this. This is nonsense. People do not want to see Solnic win. This is what it is. I'm convinced. Here's what it is. Here's what it is. People have sold the bottom on Solnic, and they want so desperately for that not to be the case. They want so desperately for that not to be the case. So desperately. But it is. No matter how many times you do it, you just give me more power. Because now what's going to happen is more people are going to subscribe on TikTok. I don't want you to do that necessarily. I mean, I'm grateful. Super grateful. But now more people are going to subscribe on TikTok, which is going to give me more power. And more people are going to watch on YouTube, which is going to give me more power. I don't think so, bro. I just think it's more likely to retrace. I mean, what do you think? It's just going to go to 0? Like, no, bro. Come on. I think it's more likely it only retraces. That's more likely. I would definitely be de-risking around the 30-cent mark. YouTube's better anyway. Charts, the music, the atmosphere. It's all here. All right. Appeal is approved. Okay. So check it out. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back on TikTok. But what we're going to do, I'm only going to go live on members only. Because these idiots, like, that's it forever on TikTok. The only other one is going to be, for when we go live with Alex. Do we even go live on TikTok? Yeah, we go live on TikTok. Okay. That's it. That's it for TikTok. So dumb. YouTube is pushing shorts like super hard, by the way. So. All right. TikTok. You're done. Members only forever now on TikTok. Because you guys don't know how to act. You guys do not just know how to eat your losses. I don't think Rose will even reach 30 cents. Well, bro, sell it at a loss and move on. Shout out to my YouTube brothers, homie. Are we on members only? Let me make sure we're on members only because, bro, I'm not dealing with this nonsense. Are we on members only on TikTok? I think we are. Somebody, Dano, will you let me know? I think it is. I think we're good. All right, listen, I'm sorry. For those of you on TikTok, your idiot friends ruined it for you. So we will only be doing members only on TikTok. If you want the full viewing experience, I'm live on YouTube right now for free. All right, members only. Forever on TikTok. That's it. This is how we're going to do it because your idiot friends do not know how to behave. Members only on TikTok from now on. And if you want the full viewing experience, I'm live on YouTube. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be like that, but you saw what happened. You saw what happened. I did not. What did I say? What did I say? Oh, I announced the partnership with Mario Nafal. That's real. He's paid. You understand? He's paid. We have a live stream with him next Friday. That's real. Whoever the nerd was that reported me. I'm sorry, you can't imagine that what I'm doing, the dope shit that I'm doing, that Solnic is doing is possible in your small-minded brain. But that's why Solnic is my number one 100x play. Period. Period. I'm sorry that you can't win like we're winning. Dot price prediction by May. All right. Let's look up Dot. All right, so listen. TikTok, it's members only from this point on. It's members only from this point on. Like, not even September. Like, we're just done with it. I'm not dealing with it. I don't need it. I don't need it. Build a base. If it dips more, build a basement. That's such good advice. Rob K, thanks for becoming a member on TikTok. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
I heard Luigi Nafal reported you, that bastard. Where do I think that by May? I don't know. We'll be lucky to get above this height right here. I don't know. It could happen because the next phase for this in the macro should be the Mark E. Where are we at right now? I don't know that it's going to start the Mark E in the macro by that time, though. So probably just a retracement from here would be the most probable, which is about a 1x move. It's already down 194x, dude. That's not possible, Jet. Oh. Done. Yeah. Well, that's why we paid Mario in cash. What? Are our YouTube subscribers growing, and how can we help? Watch the videos to the end. Like. Leave a comment. Mario Nafal with 2 million X followers. That's right. Mario Nafal with 2 million X followers. Greg, thanks for becoming a member. Yes, savage, bro.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Thoughts on my Altcoin? What's your thoughts on GRT? GRT, I like it fundamentally, but it has too much inflation for me. Let's look at GRT. So I used to really like this, and I thought I had a super clean setup for accumulation. But look at the market cap. Well, okay, it's not that bad actually. I think past inflation. Yeah, it looks like most of the inflation is done, is what it looks like. But I think, okay, so I'm going to put this in like H-bars category of past inflation is done, but there was a lot of past inflation from 2021 until today. A lot of inflation, but most of it's already done. So I think long term it's going to be fine, but I don't know that it's going to perform that well this bull market, if that makes sense. Do you think fake out or the bottom truly in? The closer. 2 days ago on my mama, on my hood, on everything I love, I made a video said the bottom's in, boys, at 74.4. That is what I think. Now, does that mean up only? Does that mean it's 100x long time? No. Like, will we have pullbacks? Yes. But I think that that was it. Says, brother, are you here to make money on crypto or cult style? What are you saying? Unknown? Bro, you were here in 2022. You made money because of the action that you took, but partially because of some of the guidance that I gave. Plenty of people have taken profit on Solnic. Plenty. Plenty. And plenty of people will continue to do it. My time horizon is not 2 weeks. It's not 2 months. It's not 2 years. It is 2 decades. I'm here to build the dopest shit that I possibly can. If you want to call that a cult, call it a cult. I don't care. I'm here to build the dopest shit possible. For the next 20 years. What's the safe zone to buy for Bitcoin? What does it need to get to hold? It depends on what your time horizon is. Like, what's your time horizon? Let's start there. When do you need the money by? Next week? Don't buy it. Next year? Don't buy it. You know what I mean? I think that the bottom's in 74.4, and I think we'll probably come back to, like, we already got our daily body candle of 83K. So I think the next logical move is going to be around the full moon. We're probably going to come back to 78K. I think if you get that, that's a really good spot. But I would probably just be DCAing around these prices. If you can get it under 80K, I think it's a good value. Depending on your horizon. If your horizon is 3 years, I think that that's a good value. I'm sorry, bro. Listen. I'm on one tonight. I didn't mean to be crazy like that. It's been a rough day for me, guys. Nah, it's been great. I'm just kidding. All right, I'm sorry. Get your dope up. Ski, do you think Bitcoin or alts is the play right now? I'm trading Bitcoin mostly right now, but I do think that alts have the most upside for sure. Yeah. But you're going to have more risk there. How can I go to your Solnic description and buy an NFT? Hold on, I got you, bro. All right, I'm putting it in the description right now. Give me 1 second. One second, bro. Buy solnic. I'll make sure to copy this. NFT. By the way, guys, I'm coming out with a quietly, I've been working on an ebook for the last few months. So that's going to be ready pretty soon. It's nothing. It's going to be I'm charging as the littlest that I possibly can, that you guys will still be invested enough to actually take it seriously. But it's going to be Wyckoff, it's going to be Elliott Wave, it's going to be Fibonacci's, it's going to be how I set up my price targets, it's going to be trading with the moon, it's going to be de-risking, it's going to be exit strategies, it's going to be all of that, plus some of the sentimental lessons wrapped up into one little ebook. So there you go. That's what I've been working on quietly the last couple months. Where did my comments go? Here we go. The trolls are always knocking. So there you go. I put it in the description, Jody. You helped me immensely. I'm very confident I'll be financially free after this bull market. Love you too, Brody. Bye with Solnic with Solana. What up, Savage Cult? Here from YouTube. Hey, Ski. Thoughts on Mover, please. I got you, Greg. Now, listen. Unknown. I'm a little bit fired up because of TikTok again, and I kind of took that out on you. And that wasn't fair. I apologize. I don't mind this. Now, it hasn't technically broken the downtrend yet, but man, if we could get a higher high in here, 743, that would be the line in the sand for me. Wahid, thanks for becoming a member, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
That would be the line in the sand to break a downtrend. I don't mind this chart. What's the inflation on this? What was it? Mover, MOVR? Is it Moon River? Is that it? Excuse me. My pleasure. Nice. What's your thoughts on AVAX and Matic? I like both AVAX and Matic. Watching you on TikTok and YouTube. You savage. I appreciate you. Okay, so... Okay, a little bit of inflation. But... within the threshold to me. So $50 million market cap, basically $60 million FDV. A little bit of inflation, but not a crazy amount. And it looks like it's mostly in the past too. So I would probably say more likely to just retrace, but even so, man, I don't mind the value here. It could continue to go lower. Like what you would want to see from a confirmation is taking out $7 and 40 cents, making a higher low, or excuse me, a higher high. That would be a good point to be at. But damn, even just retracing is a 30x. I would definitely take profit. Let me pull a fib off of this micro. Let me give you like conservative targets and aggressive targets. $66 would be a conservative target. So I would de-risk at $27. That's a 5x. I would de-risk at $68. That's a 13x. And then your 30x. The 382 is probably all it's going to get to. This kind of reminds me of XCN. Like huge just fall off. Like where do you even measure this? But I think that even going off the micro retracement here, plus the 1618 micro, I think that you have gains to be made here, and it has a decent looking chart for sure. Hey Ski, Quant, good entry point. Will you make it an audiobook good for comments? I think we could probably do that. That's going to be on the back burner because I'm still... Dan says, I sold Ondo before the pump. I'm sad. I'm sorry, bro. That is sad. How much is it up? I mean, I did say that I thought Ondo and... I'm not a fan of Ondo or Sui long term this bull market, but I think that they both bottomed. Relatively. But I just don't think they're going to do that much. Let's look at Ondo. Let's look up the market cap here. How much is it up? I mean, yeah, bro. This is like... It's not even up that much, bro. I mean, it pumped a little bit. I think this is this... Yeah. Like, realistically, I think Ondo gets the $3. What's it up today? 26%. I mean, that's definitely good. Quant. Good entry on Quant. Oh, damn. I would say so. This has been at play for a long time. Actually, I might... Bro. Hold up now. This is a dangerous play. But this trend is less valuable to me than accumulation as far as making decisions, but this is something, and you're well below the 236. If you're buying spot, I would buy this all day. Anything below $100, I think, is a really good value for Quant. If you could get it below $86, it's extreme value. I think that Quant does about $700. I might open up a long on Quant. It's a little bit dangerous, though. I would have my stop loss pretty tight. I'd probably have it at about 55. Yeah, I think this is a good value right here. 91 watching and 19 likes. Come on, guys. Come on, man. But definitely spot. I think this is a really good play here. This hasn't technically broke the downtrend, so this could be dangerous. But I might take a tight jab at this. How do you calculate retracement levels? Why is it likely for coins to get back there? Because as long as it's not broken, that's what you generally see. Like, you see that all day. A retracement. Retracement is anywhere between the 0.5 and the 702 generally. But if there's inflation, then I put it at like the 382, depending on how much inflation it is. Really, you want to go off market cap, honestly. But the 0.5 is a pretty safe bet. As long as something doesn't break and they don't dump a silly amount of supply, it's a pretty safe bet that the market cap gets to the 0.5. That's a pretty safe bet. You see that, I would say 85% of the time, you see at least get back to the 0.5. And there's money to be made there. There's definitely money to be made there, if that makes sense. Team Money, thanks for the roses, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
What are your thoughts on Cosmos? I don't mind Cosmos. Price targets for ICP, still the same. $30-ish is the retracement. 100 is parabolic. What is the yield on DAG right now? What is the yield on DAG? Does the retracement apply to meme coins like SHIB? If you measure it in market cap, I would say yes. And that's how I only look at market cap. But technically, SHIB almost hit it. You know what I mean? It was pretty damn close. You might count this, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I do think that Shiba gets to the 618. That would be my bet, but at least to the 0.5. I think that's going to happen. This was pretty close. You might count this. Yeah, 6%. But what is the body within? See, the body was only at the 382. But yeah, I think that Shiba gets to the 0.5. I think so. Market cap. I don't know about like how much inflation there is. I don't know. That's a 3x. The 618 is a 4x. I think you could pretty much bank on that. Yeah. That doesn't mean tomorrow. That doesn't mean next week. This is by the end of Euphoria. And like, I'm going to give you an example is like XRP. So here's the market cap of XRP. XRP did this crazy pin blow off top in 2017, right? Barely any time. If you didn't have your limit orders, you did not sell this. If you did not have your limit orders in on XRP, you did not sell this, right? And then all the way down, long time of accumulation in 2021. It did not go parabolic, but look where it went to. It retraced. Just above, most of it was at the 618. A lot was at the 0.5, but the pin almost went to the 702. You see this a lot. And then this is why I was like, man, I think XRP is going to go higher because I thought that this was one full cycle. And I think there's going to be a lot of coins that only retrace this time around, and we're going to be mad. And then they're going to come back the next cycle and go higher like XRP did. So almost everything will do this as long as there's not a stupid amount of inflation. If there's a lot of inflation, like all bets are off. Measure it by the market cap. Did it retrace based off of market cap or did it retrace based off of price? You know, that's different. H-bar is an example. And H-bar's inflation is pretty much done. So I think it's a solid play moving forward. Not for this bull market. But I'm going to be adding it to my portfolio. But when we look at market cap. Like market cap on H-bar went to the 1618. That's the crazy thing. It went to the 1618. That's price discovery. That's the true price, right? But look at the price. The price only retraced. Listen, I'm pretty certain that that's it for H-bar. I don't think it's going to make a new high. It might. But I don't think so. Like, it went all the way to the 1618. It might go to the 2618. It might go to the 3618 this cycle. And it's not terrible value from here. But I just think I'm going to be adding this like crazy in the next bear market. It's only a 2x. Even if it does go to the 3618. But I think ultimately it's going to fall back to like 4 billion. And then that's when I'm really interested in it. If that makes sense. Because 4 billion, because there was past inflation, it's already below the 236 right now. Like, let's overlay this. So this is why you really got to pay attention to market cap. Market cap tells you the truth. So this is the H-bar's market cap. And this is H-bar's price. And the price is like, I mean, it's extreme value, ski. But market cap is back testing the prior all-time high. This is probably where it's going to find a bottom. We'll see. But listen, yeah, you got to pay attention to market cap. And I really like H-bar, and I'm going to add H-bar like crazy in the bear market. I promise you that, because most of the inflation is done. But this is why I tried to tamper people's expectations this cycle. And it performed well. Like, it, even with the inflation, it went to the retracement on price. You know what I'm saying? Like, even so, it did an 8x. That is amazing. But I originally had like a lot higher targets, and I tampered that way down because of the market cap. Brandon, thanks for becoming a member. Mike G, thanks for becoming a member. RM, thanks for becoming a member, you savages.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Can you look at ZBCN? I like ZBCN. I don't think it's a bad value. I think it's bottom, relatively. Yeah, this looks like accumulation to me. This is a solid structure right here. So this is clearly your selling climax. It's crazy. It didn't even do a spring or a test when everything else was. That's kind of insane. But price discovery is $7.30, and parabolic would be $11. So that's 7x. I think that's pretty good. Was stoked about A6X, LOL. Korean one. You think Doge is just going to retrace as well? Doge already did a retrace. I think Doge goes parabolic. I do think so, which is about $1. My hee prediction is based on retracement too. That's right. Well, 20 cents is parabolic. That's the 2618. Yeah, if you're watching on TikTok, sorry guys, listen, too many people were acting crazy, so it's going to be like this from now on. If you want to see the full viewing experience, I'm live on YouTube, or you can become a member, but I'm not doing regular streams on TikTok anymore. I'm tired of every time I go live, it temporarily gets banned for like 10 minutes. It's the most annoying thing ever. And the people who actually come here to watch me, they don't deserve my energy being agitated like that, because people are wrecked to the tits and they want me to confirm bias them and tell them that the sweet nothings that, hey, it is going to be okay that you sold the bottom, and don't worry, you'll get another chance, sweet poo-poo. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So this is how the viewing experience on TikTok is going to be from now on. And that's to protect me, my account. Because listen, you're not only, when you do stupid stuff like that, you're not only hurting me. Like, this is how I provide for my family. You understand? So now you're taking food out of my kid's mouth, and that's not going to fly. All right. So listen, I'm doing this to protect my account. And I'm doing this to protect my energy. And this is how it's going to be moving forward. You think quant goes parabolic? I think it's a strong likelihood. Hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like he said, I stand by that. Bro, you could do anything you want to me, but you take from my kid's mouth. Listen. If I'm willing to die for my country, you don't want to know what I would do for my family. I'm going to say that again. If I'm willing to die for my country, and a lot of people say that, but I meant it. I meant it for real. You don't want to know what I would do for my family. You don't want to know. Not great that it took out this structure here. I don't love that, bro. And it did go to the 1618. We'll see. It needs to get it back above the 200. 12 cents. It's called boundaries. Yeah, and listen, I'm not trying to gatekeep, but it's just like, bro, you guys see it every time I go live. It's the same thing. That's not a threat. That's a promise. Exactly. I was looking at Anchor earlier, but haven't gotten any. Big D, thanks for becoming a member, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Retracement is 44 cents. I'd probably de-risk there. But, I mean, we'll see. Like, you need to get higher highs. That's a 5x. Did you do XRP already? I think XRP goes to $5. $5 to $8 is the most medium case. That hasn't really changed for me. Sneaky, thanks for the heart, bro.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Ignore the haters. Don't give them attention, bro. I'm not giving them attention. I'm just explaining why we're going to be doing TikTok lives like this from forever now. That's it. Bro, I'm rocking with anybody who's rocking with Solnic. Anybody who gets 2 billion impressions, because really, it's not Mario that I'm rocking with. It's me getting in front of 2 billion eyeballs. That's what I'm rocking with. I'm not counting on Mario to save us. I'm counting on me putting my face, my name, my brand, what I offer, and convert on that. Add the value that I've been adding this entire time and convert on that. Thank you for the team, the rose, the popular, the heart, the lightning, the goat, the TikTok, the ice cream cone, the GGs. You savage, bro.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Farmer ski, the nose ski. Solnic to the moon. Thoughts on Casper? I think Casper's bottomed. My target was 5.5 cents. I wish I didn't move off of that when I did, but I did. Yeah, this is bottoming to me. That's what I said when we went all the way back to 5.5. I said I think that that's the bottom. I don't think it's just going to V-bottom out of here, but I think it's going to chop in here for a little bit. That's what I think. This is what I think for Caspa. I think it's a decent value here. I like that it had a super clean distribution. That gives me a lot of faith in this project long term. The cleaner distribution you get, I mean, that's good. It's getting choppy. What up, Ski? What's your plan for Rose? I'm going to de-risk most of it at 30-ish cents for sure. Have your Flux and Rose targets changed? No. No, they haven't changed. I'll be more cautious with de-risking, but they haven't changed. Especially with Rose, I'll be de-risking more at the retracements. 0.5, 618, I'll be de-risking a little bit more. But I still think that it could go parabolic. What's your plans for ICP? Same thing, $30-ish dollars is a retracement. I'll be de-risking a good bit there. But I think you can go to $100. So you think coins will only retrace? I've said from the very beginning that 90% of coins will only retrace. And that's why whenever I'm asked a price target, I always tell what the retracement is. Always. Every time. Because that is a good place to de-risk. But absolutely, coins will go parabolic. Absolutely, coins will go parabolic. And I absolutely think that Bitcoin will go parabolic. I think that the total market cap is going to go parabolic. I think the total 2, the total 3 is going to go parabolic. That is what I think. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it for this time. I'm going to go have some dinner. Appreciate you guys. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I'll be putting out an email or a link for if you want the early access to the ebook later today. So I'll be putting that out on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. So be on the lookout if that's something that you're interested in. The members are going to get access to it first, and they're going to get the best deal by a lot. They're going to get it like 80% off or something crazy like that. But that is going to be it for this time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless.
Damn.